In this episode of The Only Rule Is, you have to talk about it.
Well, what I also started doing is eating healthier, which is like my consumption of proteins is much higher than it used to
I
be.
agree.
Yeah.
It's that personal time can also, help your family at the same time.
I prefer to do 1 hour of running than 10 minutes of working out. I don't know why.
No, there's a lot of people like that.
You can
if
just
have the
throw in
time.
the skin into the oven around 150 Celsius.
That could probably be the stupidest thing you ever
I
did in your
have
life.
to
I
agree.
think you have a heart
And you did a
attack.
lot of stupid shit.
Yeah.
Yes, you
You may launch us, good sir.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Do
Do
it.
it.
Welcome to another episode of The
Do it.
Only Rule Is.
You have to talk about.
All right. So it's been a long time since I've seen you guys. I mean, you have a good stories here and there. But today we're going to focus on one thing only that we've been kind of wanted to talk about, but it's not really in depth. It's just kind of a loose episode of what it means to, be in fitness, be in good health, workouts, and all that comes with healthy body, healthy spirit, healthy mind, healthy everything. Food wise, we have a chef here, so he can tell us a little bit about food that will increase our, mental health, I guess.
Knowledge.
And knowledge.
Don't let him start, please.
And about alcoholism, because we have Oppa here that can talk about about how alcohol increases his mental abilities.
Okay, can I start?
You can
I
go
start?
ahead, bro.
Okay,
You can
we
go
all
ahead.
we all exercise, right? In different
In different capacities,
in
but we
different
all
ways,
do.
but we all exercise.
I think that we all have activities that we keep moving, and that's an important thing.
Is it a struggle for you guys to go and exercise, or is it something that you guys look forward to with pleasure?
I can go first. I think for me, it's actually by physically exercising, I work out mentally. I don't know if that makes sense, but sometimes if I don't do any physical activities, I feel very mentally drained.
I think it's like meditation, right?
Yeah,
I agree.
agree.
Yeah. I think what I struggle is to schedule my time in order to get the fitness into my.
For
into my
me,
body.
I don't agree. I don't agree. It's like meditation, but I do agree with Denver. By doing physical exercise, mind also gets more relaxed, clear. Maybe?
No, I do. Well, I don't get a meditation when I'm doing kind of like a workout, kind of CrossFit type workouts, but I do get that when I'm running, especially when I do over 5 kilometer runs. 10 miles. I mean, what is it, from 3 miles to 6 miles? Then I will get that feeling of meditation, and okay, I'm thinking, I'm watching my breathing in, out, step in, step out.
I actually do a lot of my best thinking, especially when I'm trying to go through something. I think a run helps me a lot.
Yeah.
As you just said, that's the key for me, between 3 to 6 miles or 5 to 8 kilometers.
Right.
That works best for me. I get the best results in terms of myself, my thoughts, and my breathing.
I think a key thing up for our audience here that we have, the 2 or 3 people who watch this show, is that we're all runners here. So we all kind of met when we were running. I met Pops when we were first running together, and we used to run and drink, and then Oppa also. And also, actually, I met Denver through one of the races that we had, which is a 30-kilometer run, and it involves a team of 4 people. The hiker, what is it? The trail hiker?
The trail hiker.
Trail hiker, yeah. So I was in desperate need of a 4th guy, and I was recommended Denver. I think you just arrived from the U.S. at that point, right?
It's a long time back, but yeah, I assume so. But I was a runner at that point.
Yeah.
But I was a little bit hesitant, to be honest.
And a little bit less heavy.
I was.
Oh my God, the first time we went running, I mean, I think I was Oppa and Denver. We're going up the stairs. Oppa died up the stairs. He's like, I need to get a rest here. It was like, it's maybe like, what is it? Maybe 20 meters up?
No, 20 meters out. Maybe like 50 or something.
50 meters, and then there was a bench on top of the whole mountain.
Yeah, I fell asleep. Yeah.
And he said, no, I'm going to just fall. I'm going to just rest here for you guys. He fell asleep there. But I remember Denver, he just went up. I'm like, oh my god, this guy is so fast. I couldn't believe it. He's at the top of the. Are you guys coming? Are you guys coming? I was like, dude, like hold on. We're not even in the first kilometer, and this guy is already like, dude, we have like another 12 kilometers to go.
I don't think I can do that anymore, honestly.
Yeah, I saw the pictures. They went running Denver and Oppa this Saturday, and a picture with you and your wife and Oppa. They look miserable, and I was only like 2 kilometers in or 3 kilometers in. Oh my gosh!
We're working, not running.
Okay, let's get back to it. So basically, I think if we're talking about the topic of exercise and how it also affects us as dads or fatherhood, I would say that some of the key points around this is that myself, in terms of my time and how having that time, your personal space, that personal time can also, help your family at the same time. Because by you taking that time for you and your family is the one to benefit. Can we all agree?
Those are very wise words. Yes, I agree. Of course.
Well, I think so. Yeah, me too. Because it's a movement that you meditate, you release stress, you release all this energy. Could be negative, could be anything it is from work, and then you just or life, and then you bring the good energy home.
Yeah,
That's how I feel it.
maybe.
Because you're always running with a hangover.
Yeah,
He's still getting acquainted to a relationship, so he doesn't really have a comment on this, right?
I love his answer. Oh, maybe.
He's still getting acquainted to a relationship, so yeah.
I think that you use running to
Wake up.
alleviate yourself from that hangover.
To wake up.
To wake up.
But he
remember it was
is,
like-
he's the one that actually has the best pace of all of us.
He does.
He enters his space, and he's
He just
absolutely
keeps it. It's
adamant.
constant. It's
Yeah,
constant. It's not slow. It's not fast. It's just perfect.
It's like looking at
Oppa's
a work of art.
It's like- what is
movement.
it? What is it? A pace worker with a oppa, oppa, oppa,
beats.
oppa, oppa.
The cadence.
The cadence. The cadence is oppa, oppa, oppa. I love
That's
it.
So maybe we can touch base on some of the exercises we do and then how we also influence each other. So maybe I can go first. I remember I was a runner. I've always been a runner my whole life, and I played sports my whole life. Whether it been rugby, football, volleyball, long jump, I played a lot of sports. But when I came to Macau, I was still a runner. When I was in the US, I was still a runner. But CrossFit was introduced to me by Carlos. And I think we also influence each other's hobbies. And I don't know if all of the hobbies are good one, but including drinking. But I think one of the key points of a friendship and a relationship is that in terms of music, in terms of hobbies, lifestyle, we always tend to influence each other. Can we agree?
Yeah, that's a very important thing about our relationship as friends. We kind of influence each other in that sense. I mean, I introduced CrossFit for you guys is because most of it is because I wanted to cross train.
No, you want the club and survive.
Well, yeah, no, because if you only do one sport, like it's running all the time, you'll get injuries.
Somehow.
Yeah.
But CrossFit too.
Okay.
You also get injuries.
Yeah, if you only do CrossFit itself
Okay.
as well, but I go light on the weights.
Can I touch base on this? I think you went for the ladies.
True, that's a perk. That's a bonus.
And the boys too.
That's you. It's okay. We're not here to shame anybody.
We are not. we are not.
I know Pops over there is pretty quiet.
I'm not like you guys. I don't really exercise. I run. I don't really exercise.
What do you mean running is exercising?
It is,
to be
but I don't go to
active
the
movement.
gym like you guys.
You
What-
don't have the
I'm-
time.
I'm a different animal. No, I do have the time.
Who's
I just
gym?
don't like it.
So okay, so you do running instead of like you don't go to the gym CrossFit workout, or you don't do Pilates, you don't do yoga.
I'll tell you something. It's super weird. I prefer to do 1 hour of running than 10 minutes of working out. I don't know why.
No, there's a lot of people like that. Yeah, it's up to you and what you want to do.
I prefer to do 1 hour of running than 10 minutes working out.
But the difference is that you run by yourself. When you run by yourself and you run with others, it's different. Let
Maybe.
me
Maybe.
get into that because usually when we run, we find our stride, right? When you find our stride, we usually speak amongst each other.
Right.
And they say if you want to test your ability to know how good you are at a sport, one way is to do it while speaking. So in order to everyone to have a conversation amongst each other, we need to be on the same level or somewhat close. Otherwise, you cannot maintain a conversation during the run. For example, as we know, Ali, right, is an old friend of us from Nepal. He was running 4 minutes a pace, and that was easy pace.
God.
And trying to maintain a relationship or a friendship with that guy while running, in terms of a conversation, is almost impossible. Now, maybe that's the reason why you prefer because running by yourself and speaking by yourself.
No, it's not related to running alone and running with others. It's related to running and working out, like doing weights or something.
I kind of relate to that because when I started, I never really did exercise when I was in like high school or junior high or anything until I got to university. Then I started with running, and I hated weights. And I just felt like, this is a waste of time.
I hate weight. It's important. It's important.
It's important.
But I hate
That's
it.
why when I go weight training and go to CrossFit type of exercises, I don't like the weight training part of it, but I like the cardio part of it.
Understand.
I feel like I get something out of it, and that's why I blow everybody out of the water when I do a workout that has involvement in cardio. But when it has weights, I'm like totally like, bleh.
And the older you get, the more important it is.
I agree. Strength
weights.
training is one of the most...
Obviously, when I say weights, I don't say pulling like crazy amounts of weight.
No,
I say
that's
like
not-
being
that's not the idea.
consistent in. That's just to clarify for the people that don't work out.
I think
out there.
the idea to move your body in ways that are not... You are not used to moving on
That's
a daily
it,
basis
exactly,
is
that's it.
what's most important, because you would use muscles that you otherwise would be forgotten.
If you don't
For
use your
example-
muscles, they will disappear. That's it.
For
right?
example, when you're running, you only use a certain group of muscles. Now, when you started doing strength training or hybrid training, I think the difference is that when you use those muscles that was inactive for a long time, you will notice that you will get so much better at running or anything else.
Exactly, and that's why I emphasize cross training.
Yep.
I mean, we all three of us, well, not Pops, but Denver, Oppa, and I started doing Dragon Boat.
Dragon Ball. Yeah.
Yeah, so which is another type of exercise. We did Dragon Boat. We at a point we were doing Dragon Boat, CrossFit, running, and sometimes yoga.
Yeah. Yoga too.
And yoga
No,
was the hardest
I
thing I've
never
ever
did
done in my life.
I never did yoga. I'm sorry.
So much
I'm like,
pain.
Still
oh my
harder.
God,
I'd rather run a marathon.
Yeah, exactly.
So much pain,
It could be
so
a
much
running
pain.
marathon in circles, and I get more out of it than yoga.
I'll run a 42K on a treadmill than fucking do yoga. I'm sorry.
Oh my god, yoga is so hard. I don't know. I thought it was all by myself, but when I started talking to Oppa and Denver about it, and then like, yes, it's so
I
hard.
think the hardest part about yoga is being present, because the ability to be present with yourself without your mind lingering is quite a hard thing to achieve. And I'm actually getting better at it. I've been meditating and working on my mental health as well as my physical, and I feel the difference. I can stay.
Do you meditate when you're running, or you meditate when you're
No,
like
I
still?
take time out of my day. For example, this
breathing
morning I did
exercises?
5 minutes.
Okay.
I know it's not a lot, I'm sorry, but this is what I can achieve right now. But I can feel the improvement that I can be present with myself and not try to let my mind to linger out of the space of being
5
present.
minutes of meditation, if you can actually do, if you can successfully clear your head and meditate, it's actually a very good time. Did you guys ever heard the story about the Zen master and the monkeys?
Nope.
No.
You guys would like to hear the story of
Sure.
the Zen master and the monkeys? So there was a Zen master, right? Living in the mountain. And this dude goes there and he asks him, I've heard wonderful things about you. You're an enlightened man. Can you please also teach me? I also want to be enlightened. Can you teach me how to do it? And the Zen master turns to him and he says, sure, just go home and don't think about monkeys.
That's
1 week later, dude comes back and he says, Master, I don't want to be enlightened anymore. I just want to stop thinking about the fucking monkeys.
It's true.
And
It's
that's
true.
it, and that's meditation, right?
Until you put yourself in a space where you can only achieve you and your thoughts and be able to block them out, you will never understand what that phrase actually means. And I know it's 5 minutes doesn't seem like long, but you try sitting still with yourself for 5 minutes and see if your mind doesn't drift away.
I think if you can, it's because you're afraid of those thoughts. I guess that's why
That's
I
it.
felt
Actually,
it when I first
that's-
started doing it.
That's a very good question, because in order to be able to successfully meditate, you probably have to have a good character. I don't think people who lie and cheat and do bad deeds can meditate, because they have to hide themselves. They always have to be running faster than their actions. Otherwise,
They can't stop
feel-
thinking about all that
Yeah.
stuff. I mean,
I
it's just
guess I'm not.
suppress that
but
information.
I guess
I don't know.
that's a good question. What do you think? Since you meditate, so what do you think?
I can really
Do you think
touch on other
Do you
people.
think someone with bad character is able to meditate? Or?
I don't know. The friends around me all have good character, so
Okay, yeah.
I usually
Fair
keep
enough.
around people that are who are in my close net.
It's a very
uh,
good question.
Yeah, who are in my close net community to be good friends. And usually, I tend to not make too much time as I get older with relationships that I don't think are good for my mental health. I'm a person, as all of you guys know, that I really make time for maintaining relationships. I would go out of my way to try and help somebody. But when I see the toxic part
Type
of
of
the
person.
people, and I realize I'll give them more than one chance, but I will start pulling away from you.
Okay, I agree, and I do the same. Maybe we can go to the next.
Meditation. How does that relate to meditation, though? I mean, yeah, you can pull away from.
He's talking about if you. I'm asking him a question about character, and he says he surrounds himself with people of good character, so he has no idea how the other words, because
I was just
he doesn't
answering
stay
his
around
question.
them long enough. Going to the next chapter. For the people out there that are listening to this and like, okay, these guys may have something going on. Maybe I will start to exercise. Any advices on how they should start?
Well,
and what
first
they
of all,
should do?
if you look at us, we don't look like we exercise that much. But the thing is, we also have a very busy lifestyle. Life.
You actually
that-
you look fit. Look, a few years ago you were.
fat as fuck.
Body shaming. Hey, what did we talk about that? It's okay. I used to wear a bro. Now the next person to wear a bro is Oppa.
I agree.
Please proceed.
We don't look like we really do exercise, but we do. We have a very busy life, but we do manage to fit in workouts, exercises, meditation, anything we can do in order to get there. I mean, I myself started a new sport, which is tennis. I mean, I'm not really good at it, but the point is not being good at it, but it's starting something new, and like you were saying, Denver, it's using something else in your body that you don't use every day, and that's something like, oh, I really enjoy this, this eye movement, eye and hand coordination that I didn't have before with running or CrossFit or Dragon Ball. So it's something different for me. I mean, I used to play hockey, but now there's no hockey anymore in Macau, so I have to compensate for something else.
I agree. The sport I miss the most is martial arts. I've done a lot of it growing up. I did Muay Thai for some time as well, and that's actually the sport I miss the most. The reason I cannot do it is we are in the same boat. I cannot meet the time frame in the classes.
I mean, I would like to actually learn Muay Thai, but I didn't have a chance to do it. I mean, I can go to Thailand for a year and do it. That would be a good incentive to live there for a year.
I can teach you. I'm not bad, to be honest, but
I'm sure. I would like for you to train me. Actually, we started doing Muay Thai, well, not Muay Thai, but training. Remember those after a run, you used to hit me in the stomach?
that was just part of the cardio.
Oh my god, I used to cry, dude. I used to cry. No, literally. So we did 10K run, and after the 10K run, we did, what is it? 100
sit-ups,
100 sit-ups,
push-up,
100 push-ups.
push-ups, and yeah, I mean,
And something like, and then after that, he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna hit you guys in the stomach." I'm like, and we're like, "Okay."
What was the point of it? Is it to get to toughen up the muscles? Or?
What was the point?
So
of it?
basically, when you are hit during any kind of martial arts, the breathing and the bracing of your abdomen is when that's the ability to take punches. So when you learn how to control your punch and breath very well, as well as hold your abdomen to take a punch, you can take a lot more harder hits.
Right.
So it teaches you the coordination between your body and the ability to know when somebody's going to hit you at the point. So you cannot hold your breath to brace for the whole fight.
Right.
So you have to use your intuition to understand when to brace and when not to, and that's what it teaches you.
I mean, yeah, I learned, and it actually started. I started developing that a lot. Well, not really developing, but understanding that, because when I was running, I did emphasize a lot on my core, and then when to tighten it up and when to release.
Can you explain what core is? Tightening up the core is for the people that don't.
Core is like, I'm assuming. Well, this is a part of the abdominal part of the body.
It's the abdomen. Yes.
Abdomen.
So when you're running, you try to keep the abdomen part.
Yeah, which also
straight
kind of it also correlates to your back, so you keep your back straight, and
it.
you're not hunching over, so it's like keeping your core tight as possible.
And it also controls your posture as well
Exactly.
as corrects your posture. Without the proper abdomen muscles, the ability to hold the straight back while running is almost non-existent. So it has a lot to do. Your core strength for humans, if you look at the scientific part of it, has a lot to do with the way you stand, the way you sit, and of course, a lot of people who work in office jobs. I'm not one of them, but they have a lot of hard time trying to be able to understand how to use the abdomen and how to
like Oppa.
correct to posture. It affects the posture a lot.
Well, it affects when you're running, because when you're
Yeah.
running, you used to hunch over, right?
Yes, correct.
So when you're running and you're using your core, you're activating your muscles, you start going your back starts straightened out, and then your run posture. Even when you're like at kilometer 30, you still trying to keep that posture, keep the abdominal tight, and your core engage, and that's how you just kind of finish the run.
Since we're talking about people who would like to start to exercise, that's a good point. It's very important to do it correctly, otherwise you may get injured, right?
Right. Well, if you're trying to exercise and you're like, how do I start? Or like I told the team here, guys here, I call it my team because we were together in a lot of races, is 1 kilometer at a time.
Yeah. I couldn't have said it better.
You can't expect to run a marathon in the first day, and don't think about kilometer 42 when you're on kilometer 0. Just
That's it.
think of the next kilometer.
And that's also a good lesson for life, right?
Yeah, exactly. Focus on smaller goals to get to your end goal. That's usually how you do it.
The small pictures all add up.
Yeah, correct. To the bigger picture.
So I can I can touch on this as well. I used to be a person that was a little bit. I grew up not in a wealthy family, so I grew up and I never thought that personal trainers were as important as I do think they are now. The reason I say that is that I've always been a food person my whole life until I opened the restaurant. And I never thought that I needed a personal trainer. But when I started getting into CrossFit, I understood that I don't have any knowledge around what I'm doing. And to understand what you're doing, also the science behind it, I think is so important. Because it teaches you to do something in a way that you won't injure yourself at the same time. Because anyone can go and do sports for one day.
Right.
But to do it and not get injured for a long time is quite important. And that's where the knowledge comes in. And I think a lot of people take this for granted. Because we can spend, say, 10,000 on a stupid iPhone, right? But you tell a person go to gym and spend maybe 500 or 600 a month just to go for a gym. And then on top of that, you spend another 200 or 300 just to get a personal trainer to educate yourself. They will tell you, no, that 300 is useful. And to be honest, sometimes I think we are not knowledgeable enough to understand how important people and coaches are. And hats out to them, to be honest. Respect.
Yeah, just to give people perspective, we're not talking about US dollars. We're talking about Hong Kong dollars here.
Oh shit. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, so 10,000 will be what, about what, 1,500 US?
Yeah, correct.
Something like that. A little
Just to
bit
give
less,
you
but
perspective
yes.
on an iPhone. Yeah, I mean that it's very important to have a trainer. I mean, CrossFit culture back 10, 15 years ago, it's much different than it is now. CrossFit culture back in the days when I started used to be do or die. Basically,
It used to be really raw,
it
right?
really raw. It's like it's you don't train every day, you don't get injured, you're not doing it right.
Yeah. It was crazy back then.
Yeah, but now it's a step back, especially where we work out at the area that we work out. It's no plugins yet. It's different. It's a different mentality. It's more about the progress of how you progress your workouts and how you learn the movements first, and before you actually start being competitive.
Yeah, I think as I get older, I try not to be competitive. I used to be a very competitive person growing up in terms of sport. And I usually was very good at it. But now the aim is actually not to be competitive. It's to actually be fit. It's to bend over and pick up something without any pain. I know that
Exactly.
sounds weird to a lot of people, but being a chef, you have a lot of repetitive motions.
Right.
For example, something's called a ganglion cyst. It's basically between your two joints where you repeat a motion for that long that there's a fluid build up there, and then that's actually not normal for most people. But because we keep doing it, our body will have to adjust itself to make sure that it can keep up with it. But the side effects will be it'll be a lot of pain, and the ability to understand the difference of how to handle situations when you put in a new sport or new environment is also comes back to the proper training and coaching. I think we can use this in generalizing around life.
It's very important to understand also that you're not gonna see results right away, right? Results for working out
No,
take
we
time
don't say
to do.
any. We're getting bigger.
That's not encouraging.
The fat's still there, but the muscles keep growing, and then it just
Actually,
pushes the
I
fat
disagree.
out.
I disagree.
That's how I feel. Like every
Yeah.
time I work out, like the fat is still there, it doesn't go away, but the muscles are growing.
It gets much bigger. than it used
Yeah,
to
my
be.
shirts don't fit, my pants
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
fit, but it's still fat. And everybody's like, "No, but you're getting muscle." I'm like, "What muscle?"
Actually, the more research you do into the scientific, we're in the day and age where we can actually touch base on internet with almost anything. Of course, you're going to get a lot of different perspective on the same topic. But if you do enough research, you can get a basic understanding of a certain topic. For example, dieting and a deficit, right? We know what is a deficit, which is taking below your calorie intake for how much you eat in a day. Once you can put your body into that, I've seen it and I've done it. I'm proof of it. I did a 36-hour fast not long ago, about 2 weeks back, to try and train my mind in terms of discipline. And I maintained it. I could have done longer, but unfortunately I had a food tasting. So I lost 3 kgs
Wow.
in the space of 36 hours.
Wow.
And I've been able to maintain it because I'm mentally strong. But you can only get to that point when you start somewhere.
Right.
And I've been training with you guys for a long time. I've always played some kind of exercise or done some kind of sports. And the only reason I can do what I'm doing now is because of all the past mistakes that I've made. Number one, I used to sleep too less, and I used to eat too late. And then all of these small, what do you call it?
Bad habits.
Bad habits
Add up, right?
added up to
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The
It does.
overall-
It does up. I mean, sleeping is so important. I tell Denver all the time. Sleeping, he doesn't sleep that much, just because of the nature of his work. But it is very important. I try to sleep as much as possible. Having kids at the beginning, it's kind of hard having all the sleep, but get as much rest as you can because your body is not getting any younger, and that's when you recover from all the workouts,
I
all the
agree.
exercise.
When you sleep.
Right. And also mentally you kind of like dump everything and then restart fresh in your mind, so you're fresher in your mind. Well, that's my perspective.
Yeah,
on-
I've learned the hard way. Unfortunately, I don't get to choose my cards. I've been dealt. I choose to be a chef, and unfortunately, when most people are off, we are working, and unfortunately, we don't get to choose that aspect of the timing we are given.
Right. Well, what I also started doing is eating healthier, which is like my consumption of proteins is much higher than it used to
I
be.
agree.
Yeah, I kind of cut down on the vegetables, definitely on the starches. Soft drinks, definitely not. And my my consumptions beer is still there. Sorry, guys. I can't give up.
I blame Oppa. I blame Oppa.
Beer and alcohol, whiskey. I'll get my
remember.
nice whiskey.
Sorry.
It does help. It does help the metabolism. I'm gonna go there. It's like if you poop more than twice, it's actually good because my consumption of protein is so much higher than it used to be.
But what do you mean you cut on the vegetables? Shouldn't you?
Because I
Sugar.
feel sugar. If you eat a lot of junk food, you need the vegetables to kind of clean your system,
Fiber.
the fiber. But because my consumption is higher of meats and proteins and stuff like that, I need that to recuperate. So I don't need I don't need junk food as I used to or anymore. So I don't need that vegetables to constantly clean or the fiber to constantly clean my system.
I can agree on that because it's called ketogenesis, right?
Yes.
So the ability to change your body from using sugars into using fat as the way of energy source. And once you can understand that how it works, so basically we as humans have become so used to using starches as our energy source, is that because starches give you energy instantaneously, which will be used for a short time. So there's a spike, so the energy will go up and then come down very fast. But the difference is when you're using fats and protein is that you can maintain the energy source for much longer, and that's the key to being able to change or transform the body from using simple sugars to using fats and proteins. If I'm
So
not
that's when
no
we-
scientist, don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
That's
So
all
that's
it-
when we do a big run, let's say a 42 to 50-kilometer runs, we use a lot of starches first. So we carbo load and then we maintain the carbo loading as we go through the whole run, and that's the sugar release on your body to maintain your body to keep going. And that's what we do.
Yeah.
Just when you do a big run, don't carbo overload, because then you have to go to the bathroom.
I think
And there's very limited toilets out there when
I
you're
agree.
doing the running. Yeah, him and I
Trial
had an
and error.
experience in that.
Trial and error.
Are there very limited toilets?
Well, you
There
have
are-
that, yeah, because I mean they're spaced out quite a bit. So either you go on the side of the road, and then the second thing you have to think about, how do you clean yourself, right?
Yeah, that was could be a very big.
You can either just go on it. The problem is that, okay, fine, you find something to clean yourself with, let's say like your underwear, but then you have to throw it away. You know, what a lot of people do, then you throw it away, then you have this rash, you know, and your cheeks going,
Yeah, that hurts.
Yeah.
That hurts.
especially if not wearing anything, right? On the wrong type of underwear. It's like, I remember a story from Pops over here. One time he did what was it?
Oh,
It was the
the
15K
Spartan.
Spartan.
Spartan, where I used like
Spartan.
cotton.
He used the
shirts
wrong
and-
type of underwear. He did not go to the bathroom.
Rookie.
Just a rookie,
Rookie
mistake. Rookie mistake.
I got chef, man. I got
My
really, really.
balls, my balls are burned. I'm like, it was probably from the girl you were with last night.
Dude,
Spicy.
please. Actually, the girl we were with last night was Oswald, right? You remember that?
Oh yes, Indian spice.
Indian spice.
Oh, that was a good story. That was a good race.
So we
That was a good
wanna
race.
try to touch on some of the food dietary
Yeah.
requirements that we started to.
Would you like
Involved.
to?
Yeah, I can. One of the things that we as humans have been brainwashed into thinking like seed oils. So seed oils are our simple oils used like canola oil, sunflower oil, rapeseed oil. So we as the culture of follow the American civilization in terms of using this for cooking on our daily basis has been proven that is much more unhealthy than animal fat, which is our lard. We call it lard. And our
it.
lards are our beef fat, our chicken skin. And if you look at the history and the understanding around it, is that the seed oils are 3 times more harmful to the human body than using animal fat.
After
So-
being eaten up, right? I think I read about this.
Basically,
it is the heat that creates
Correct.
the molecular breakdown that makes them unhealthy. right?
so the process of making the oils, the seed oils, or vegetable oils are quite. They are pressed, and when they are pressed, they are produced in a very high amount of heat, which takes away the nutritional value of them. So this is only done in the last 40 years. If you look at the history, before that we were using animal fat.
Animal fat. Yeah.
And if you look at how healthy we were, and in my restaurant, we only use animal fats.
When I cook, I usually do tallow.
So
Taro,
is it,
yeah.
is it
Beef.
possible?
Beef taro,
Beef-
correct.
beef.
I make it.
Yeah. No, I just buy it from
Because
the
obviously,
store.
as a Portuguese, I use a lot of olive oil in my cooking. Is it possible for someone who cooks, casually in their house to use animal fat? How do we do
So
it?
basically, olive oil is healthy. Don't get me wrong, but olive oil, when heated to a certain temperature around 170, 180, will start to lose its nutritional
That's
value.
what I was saying. But is it all oils that do this, or only
Most
oil?
oils. So the
Okay.
oils that are a little bit healthier because they have a higher smoking point, which will be sunflower oil and will be avocado oil. Avocado oil is one of the ones that I use more frequently because
Nice.
of it can take a much higher burning point.
And
When you
it's,
do that, it also allows you as
Okay.
to not lose the nutritional value. But olive oil, in terms of salad and dressing, is still one of the best.
Yeah, it is. So substitute for, because I did that, substitute for olive oil when you're cooking is avocado
Yeah.
oil. And if you don't have tallow or like beef fat. But beef fat from the US, people, they can buy it online, tallow, and also here in Asia, you can buy it.
You can
on
make it by
Taobao.
yourself.
Or you can make it by yourself.
You
if
can
have
just
the
throw in
time.
the skin into the oven around 150 Celsius, and then put it in like 2 hours. And by the end of it, you'll
have the
You know what? The
right,
food,
the
the food
food-
tastes much better.
Of
it's
course.
like, oh wow, it's like a different level.
We,
And you
we
have
don't
this-
use seed oils.
Yeah, and you have these layers of flavor with
You're
the food.
saying chicken skin, 150 degrees in the oven, and then the fat from the skin
The oil will
okay.
render. The oil
Alright,
will
alright.
render. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
rendering
actually
now.
much healthy. And at my restaurant as well, that we make all the lards ourselves. We call it lard. We make it all ourselves, and the reason we do it is because I care about the health benefit around it. So a lot of my food is much healthier because we focus on using these kind of animal fats to actually emphasize in terms of flavor as well as in terms of the health benefit that comes with it. The only downside is that it uses a lot more time. But when the restaurants close at night, we leave the oven on with the lard or the fats on the inside the oven and let it cook overnight.
When you say lard, is it like you use
Animal
the fat
fat that's
from the
been-
bacon?
Correct.
what's-
Animal fat.
Also 150 degrees? Or
You can use 150, 140,
Okay.
no problem. It's safer to do.
Then you can just store it in the refrigerator, right?
basically, yeah.
Okay.
Just
and
to go,
it won't spoil.
yeah. Well, just to go to a step forward or a level
Further.
up, further. My wife actually uses a tallow that she buys, and she does creams like for our hands and all that stuff and the face. So we use that cream for our kids. So we put it in her face and stuff like that. And
Is that a reason your
That's
dog
why you always
always-
smell like beef.
yes.
No,
that's
is
why we're
that
so
reason?
delicious. That's why he's always right next to me. I need to be right next to Carlos. He
No,
used
no,
to go, smells so good
That's
and
the reason
delicious.
why his dog always chasing them.
Oh,
At least somebody chases me.
Poor dude.
Yeah, my dude always chases me. But anyway, yeah. So actually, it is very good, especially because we used to live in a desert area, and it was really good for our skin because it's always dry. And all the stuff that they sold in the stores was full of chemicals, and it really was harmful for my little boy because he's very sensitive with the skin. So all the chemicals really added rashes to his skin.
aggravated it, yeah.
Aggravated it, so we changed to animal fat, and she started doing her creams, and then after that she just continued doing it, and we love it.
Sorry, it may sound controversial, but everything that's beautiful in this world, God provided for us already. So anything that's man-made that have been achieved by civilization or the sending of humans thinking they are superior, has shown that it's much more harmful. Plastic, for an example, is a human-made.
Not everything. You got like
Sure, bro. Use your words.
Think about it.
Use
Think
your
about
words.
It's coming. It's
Do
your
it. Do
time.
it.
Do it.
Do it.
I was-
Do it. Do it.
Do it. Anyway, so it's not bad. Nothing to say bad about vegetarians or vegans, but we're all animal carnivores here. So I love meat. It's your fuel. It's what keeps you going.
I
Not
thought,
your
I thought it was water.
Your alcohol.
Let's touch on the one that we all don't want to speak about. Alcohol.
Oh, I love alcohol.
Don't do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Yeah, wait, okay, so we have an expert in alcohol, which is Oppa.
No, I'm not expert. I just experienced.
I just drink it.
Just drink it.
I'm
I have a tasting every night.
No. I remember first time I got drunk, I was like 5 years old. I told you the story.
5 years old.
5 years old. There was a.
Is there a different age in
Yeah,
the
there-
country you're from? Because in my country it's 18.
No, there.
In Mexico, there's an age limit. No, there's not.
Back then it was like I remember when I was child lived with the my grandparents. They lived with the neighbors together, and then the neighbors very close. And then one neighbor got married, so all the adults went to the marriage wedding ceremony. So kids left. So we went to at home. We found all the alcohol because they purchased for the wedding. So we started drinking.
Did you
Like,
finish all
you
that?
guys just you guys just opened, like, all the kids got into a room, found the bottles,
I have
opened the
no
bottles,
idea what to
started-
even say about
There,
this.
there were a few older ones, older than me. I was 5. There were 7 or 9, whatever. They knew what to do. They opened the bottom when they give me the sip or whatever. We mixed everything together. It's more not like a.
How can you still remember this?
Well, I tell you later why. So I was drunk. I didn't know. I went back home. I like this.
You're
and
5 years old. 5 years old.
5 years old, and then I
You're
asked
walking crooked. All
I asked my grandma why the ceiling is spinning. And then when my grandma come over, oh, okay, I will call your dad.
what that came in?
No, dad come over. I was laying on the bed. I'm like,
What type of alcohol was it? Do you remember?
wine.
Gin, right?
Red wine.
Red wine?
But
Really?
Red wine combined with something, maybe milk, maybe other kind of beverage.
Was
or
it
whatever.
homemade?
No, homemade. It's
Wine is
kids.
not bad. I mean, wine is
Not that bad. It's not Chinese liquor.
But wine wasn't so.
popular in China back
no,
in the,
no, because okay, so the
40
adults,
years ago.
adults usually drink Chinese liquor, right?
Right.
And then the women, whatever, they're gonna drink wine or other kind of beverage. Well, still alcoholic.
Well,
but,
was it Chinese wine?
I think so,
Okay,
but
okay.
I don't quite remember. But we put everything together. It's like
We call it a fishbowl.
I don't know. It's fishbowl.
No, we
what?
call that a fishbowl. When you mix liqueurs and you drink it, we call it a fishbowl in South Africa.
But they didn't know about it.
I didn't know about it, and then it was the first time I got drunk.
Did you wake up with a hangover the next morning? Do you remember? Or
I think I slept roughly an entire day.
okay, all right, makes sense.
I think when you're that young, I don't think you
You don't have
really
hangovers. That's why I was asking, right?
Yeah.
Because if
No,
you're
it's not
5 years
hangover,
old,
it's just woke up.
let's do it again today.
when
Let's
you
do
were
it again.
I don't know about
Young,
that. man. 5 years old,
You're
guys.
all teens in your 20s when
No,
you
you're-
used to drink. It's like, whoop, oh, the
You're
next day
5
I'm
years
ready
old.
to
Your
go.
body's like working full power. Every cell is like
Yeah, it
working
just absorbs
perfectly,
alcohol
yeah.
and it just.
I don't know. I haven't drank at 5 years old, so I don't have much experience around this. Sorry.
It's just how your metabolism works.
Yeah, yeah.
No, before
Just
before
you
it was-
being a
there were
kid. I
different-
don't think your parents
there were
went over like,
different
here,
rules
drink a
before.
beer, you know? What was that?
There were different rules before.
Yeah, very different.
No, I don't think your parents knew you were doing that. There was no such
That's
thing.
my point. That's my point. They were like not feeding you the, here, have a wine. You know, you're
well-
like, oh.
That's it.
Well, when I was child, I saw people feed the kids like 5 or 6 years old during Chinese New Year, one sip of liquor.
Yeah, well,
Mixed
that's
with-
traditional.
mixed
You
with
saw in
bread
the
or,
Chinese
'cause-
liquor.
'cause-
But that's traditional in Latin countries. Like usually for New Year's, you know,
Yeah,
you give
give
the kids
a
a little bit of
little
that, you know,
bit
like
taste.
yeah.
This is new to me,
wine.
guys. I tell you, the only time we used to have brandy with thyme and garlic, and we used to drink it when we had a cough. So it was my grandmom's remedy for fixing a bad cough. Instead of cough syrup, it was a natural remedy. So it was just brandy with thyme and garlic, and it worked. I can promise you that it does some enzymes in thyme that helps to take away the sensation of the cough.
Sorry, can you share the recipe then? How do you?
If I remember correctly, you would have to age it around 3 months. You take the
Oh,
garlic,
okay.
you smash it a little bit so that the
So, like,
essential
if-
oils will come out, and then you soak it into the brandy with thyme. Thyme is the herb. Yeah.
Okay, so if I had like a cold tomorrow, it wouldn't. I
No,
need
won't
3
help.
months to.
You have to wait till 3 months.
to get the cold.
I remember my dad was probably around
Probably
9 or
going to drink the
something.
whole thing.
my dad was around 9, and he lived in a little village, right? And they didn't had, like, if you had a toothache, you didn't really have any medicines to take care of, so they gave the kids firewater, right?
No,
To-
and I know a
to
good
ease the
remedy
pain.
for that. A good remedy for a toothache is cloves. The spice clove. It works.
Okay.
I can assure you. So can we touch base on the alcohol in terms of the health perspective?
Yeah, it's
I think in
awful, but,
moderation is fine, but
it's,
not like overdoing it.
you
Like
need
Oppa does.
to. Life needs to have a little bit of salt, right? What's the point of being 100% healthy? We're all gonna die anyway, so
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, but you can't
That's
have
not-
that mentality. We're all gonna die, so let's just drink all the beer in the world.
No, no.
In moderation.
In moderation. Always in moderation. Always in moderation.
What do you have to say about this?
Always in
Oppa?
moderation.
What?
What's your understanding about alcohol?
No, about
and
moderation.
health?
You guys are picking on him really bad, but compared to like what he used to do before, he's actually pretty
Bro,
moderated
he's a
right
saint.
now, right?
He's a saint.
Just thanks to his wife.
He is a
Thanks
saint.
to his wife.
Wife had 2 rules only. Don't get drunk.
Don't smoke.
No.
Right.
Don't go home later than 11 p.m.
That's a good rule.
They go hand in hand, right? So
Curfew
I
in a
only have a
marriage.
Simple rules.
don't judge, bro.
Yeah, so now going back to the topic, I do exercise and I work out also for my kids. So because I want them to see a healthy dad and a motivated dad, and I usually take them to my workouts and some of the workouts when I do workouts. So I put them there and they kind of look at me, and sometimes they go to the their YouTube videos or whatever, not YouTube videos, but screen time. But after I have a workout or something like that, I do like a small little workout with both my kids or just one of them, whoever comes with me, just to tell them like, hey, there's motivation here. So you see your dad workout. Okay, it's your turn. You have to do this. And see, remember what I did? So we do like handstands. We do a little box jumps. We do burpees and stuff like that. So just keep him activated. And also when I go, they know that I go play tennis. So what they want to do is go play tennis too. So I take him to the court and just shoot some balls. It doesn't matter if they're doing it right. The whole thing
Just
is
like
to have
you.
that motion. Exactly.
They're 4 years old, man.
Yeah, they're 3 years old. They don't care. They just want to hit balls and stuff like that. Even with the bikes, we're taking biking and all that stuff. And they're like, it doesn't matter if you fall, you're going to get up and, you rinse and repeat, basically. So they like that. I like them to see that they're active. I mean, they do capoeira, they do yoga. So like, and I told them I can't do yoga. Your mom does yoga. You ask her. It's like this is the hardest sport you can ever do. Is it a sport?
It's not
yoga.
sport. I don't think it's a sport.
I don't know, but it is hard.
It is hard. I mean,
Very
it's
It's
hard.
like Pilates. I haven't done it, but I've looked at people do it, and that is hurtful, man.
Yeah, but my point is, if you have kids, have them being involved in the sports that you're with. And, like I play hockey, and now my little girl wants to go and play hockey. Because she's seen it once or twice. I'm like, I want to do what daddy does.
Kids will mirror the fathers,
Yeah.
right?
I think they
Oh,
mirror
and the mother
family.
as well.
They
The
will
family,
do
yeah.
no. When I say fathers, father and mother, they will do what you do. They will not do what you say, right? That's it.
Correct.
That's why it's so
Yeah.
important to
Yeah.
keep
I
them
think
keep them involved.
also we in a little bit of a bubble living in Macau, but sports has also kept me away from drugs and fitness in terms of health.
Well, not only we can live here in Macau or in a bubble, but or you can live in Hong Kong or in the U.S., but it does keep you busier that you don't
Tired.
have time and tired
to focus.
yeah,
Go
to
to
focus
sleep.
on something or being around the wrong
Crowd.
crowd.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that there's the
It's,
wrong crowd in sports. There's also the wrong crowd there. But
No,
if
but
they involve different sports,
usually
yes.
junkies don't do exercise, right? So
Yeah.
kind of
Well,
weeds out the.
one thing that I notice here in Asia is, especially in China, they do put kids a lot of like individual sports and also in team sports, or individual activity and team activities, which is very important because you learn the kid develops to be by
Social
themselves
skills,
and develop their own skills and also be part of a team. So that's important because if you don't grow up being part of like playing football or soccer,
Yeah, it's a team. It's
it's a team
sport.
effort, right? And people who don't grow up with that, they don't know how to be team member or be a leader in some aspect. But also you need that
You need to
alone
realize,
activity
yeah.
It gives you confidence of maybe speaking in public or doing individual things to get by yourself, or being competitive with your component, right? Or relying on yourself.
I think also that you touched on a very good point there. The ability to play sports also helps with confidence.
Yes.
Yeah, it does. And because it also, when you play sports, you of course look better. Whether it be an older or younger person, you actually feel more comfortable with yourself because you know what are your limits. But for a person who's never done it before, and you just put them into, say for example, running, or put them into a table tennis or something, it might be hard for them to coordinate, or even get to a point where they will feel uncomfortable at first.
They will probably feel uncomfortable in a situation. They have to be part of a team,
I agree.
right?
That is
I mean,
also
that's what when I was growing up, I wasn't really involved in too many sports, and not until I grew older, maybe outside of high school, then I started being involved in sports. And I kind of regret that point, that I wish I was more involved in sport activities, but the situation that I was put in, it wasn't really lending itself for me to do that. But now I'm put myself in the situations that I want to be in that, and I understand. I see the fruitfulness of it, and I've exposed my kids to do the same.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's so important because Pops had touched on one of very good points. Your kids mirror you,
Yes.
whether it's the mom or the dad, and they follow what you do, not what you say.
Right.
and besides confidence, sports also teaches you how to lose.
That's very important
It's
point.
very
Yeah.
important to know how to lose.
Yeah.
It's very important.
I agree, bro.
Yeah.
Makes you realize that in order to achieve something, you have to work hard at it, and you can only do that with consistency at the same time.
The master is a student who lost 1,000 times, right? That's it. Who failed 1,000 times.
You just have to succeed one time.
No, that's it. No, it's consistency. Consistency until you get good at something. But it's very important to know how to lose, right?
Yeah.
How to manage that emotion.
Absolutely. Well, growing up, I also didn't have parents to be involved in sports themselves. So, it's kind of like my parents saying, you need to do sports. And, well, of course, but why don't you do it as well? You have to be healthy. Well, of course, but you're not healthy. So, in a way that I also want to project that to my kids, is like, I'm healthy. I'm going through the whole steps with you. So I'm learning with you. I'm going through the whole exercises with you. So whatever I do, you're doing the same, but we're at different levels. But you can say, oh, I can do it. I can do it too.
Yeah, I
You know?
agree. Let's touch on maybe junk food. Is that something to think about, consider? Like my home, for an example, in order to have a healthier lifestyle in terms of my family, we don't buy junk food for our house. And usually when it's there, nobody eats it. We have become so accustomed to not even trying or eating that our daughter now does the same.
Right.
She mirrors it. Like we gave her chocolate, and until now she's never tried Coke or many of the desserts like candies and stuff, because we try to be healthier.
Well, yeah, I think we do the same. I think we started in the wrong pace, because we started to have a lot of sweets and stuff in our home, but slowly we taken it all out. Of course, that doesn't say that I'm not depriving them from them. I mean, they do have like their soda pops once in a while, but not at home. It's not present at home.
Understand? Yeah,
We
that's
took
what I'm
it
touching on.
completely different out from the house. We have no candy. We have chocolate. We do have chocolate, but we have like 90% cocoa type of chocolate.
I think it's
not
important.
tasty.
Huh?
It's not tasty.
Well, exactly. So they're talking about that. There's like a chocolate for them, and it's like.
But
oh,
actually,
it's not really
90%
sweet,
is quite healthy. The reason I'm touching on this is because growing up in South Africa, we didn't have the knowledge that we do have now. And my parents actually gave us chocolates from a very young age, whether it been Hershey's or whatever, and Coke. We did all of those stuff.
Yeah, me too. I was
And,
growing up with
But it is
Coca-Cola
also
all the
important,
time.
right? It's just a little
No,
bit of
I
candies.
disagree.
It's
I
important.
disagree. I think society made it look that way. That's why we accustomed
Commercialized
to it.
thing. Yeah.
Because it's so available out there. If you as a father don't present to them this possibility, it's possible that when they start to get some independence, they will just go all crazy with it? And,
Not
you're not
necessarily.
going to be there to control it and teach
Well,
them.
I think
you
I
can,
have to
you
agree
can,
with-
you can have a little bit, but
Yeah,
just
with-
you have to understand that there are consequences to
Pops.
this.
Right. I mean, yeah,
You have
you
to
were
li-
exposed to them, but
No, they have it at home. It's just because we don't eat it. She doesn't eat it now.
That's it.
Right.
That's it exactly. But if
Yeah.
she eats once in a while, right? Okay.
Yeah.
well,
ice
yeah,
cream.
it's because if you deprive from it, she'll be going around your back, and
Yeah,
you're like,
so
oh, this
that's
candy, this
exactly it.
Coca-Cola. Oh, I'll make sure my
That's
dad doesn't
exactly.
win.
That's exactly.
And instead, like, oh, here's a Coca-Cola, like, they'll go crazy the first time, right? Like, same happened to you, Pops, is like with your candy, right? So it's like, they go crazy the first time, but then they're like, oh, I have a tummy ache, I'm not going to eat that much, and later on.
That's it. Did you understand now? Do you
yeah.
understand the consequences?
And then
of your
later on,
actions?
they see it, I'm like, I really don't want it. So now they have self-control.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. The reason is going back to my childhood. It was so accustomed for us. For example, a birthday party at school. What was the party pack? Chocolate sweets.
Oh, yeah.
And now, when my daughter goes, the party pack that we got recently was totally different. They had some snacks which were homemade from the parents, and they actually put some time and effort into this. And whether it be in the organic chocolates or whatever, if I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but I keep up to date with this. Hershey's will just find a big amount because they changed their labeling to not correspond with what they're packaging and what was inside the ingredients. And the reason I'm saying this is because if we don't try to understand as a parent, it later on is going to catch up with the kids. Look at, for example, Coca-Cola, the way it's made in Mexico, the way it's made in US. Look at the chemicals that are present within that. And as we know, that sugars can cause ADHD for kids. And of course, it's nice to have it, but as a
Has to
parent, do
be
you
in
choose?
moderation.
Yeah, as a
Moderation.
parent, do you choose to be their friend or to set the example?
True. Yeah, that's it. So
It's
in
it's, it's,
moderation.
it's a hard thing to try and to live, and I think it only can be present if you as a parent is also setting the example. We never stopped my daughter, but we had a bet when we went to South Africa, and my friends gave her chocolate, and she gave it back to them. And it's like, okay, I'll give you 100 mop if you can make her to eat it. Go ahead, I'll give you freedom. I'll go into another room.
You know what? Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know what makes good candy? Cherry tomato. If it's really good cherry tomato, have candy. And it's really nice, man. Isn't it really nice? Doesn't it almost taste like candy? Cherry tomato?
Well, some cherry tomatoes do, too. But speaking of that, like, when I go in...
I'm saying picking it out of a bowl. So sweet.
I'm sorry, bro.
When this episode is over, you'll try the cherry tomato that I have there.
Bro, I
We'll
have
see if
some
it
of
is-
the best in Macau, but
Okay.
you don't get to play
Fair
that
enough.
card on me.
But it's good to know that the sensation when I get with my kids and they prefer fruits right now
Yeah.
over candy.
That's-
they want,
that-
they want an
that's my
apple, they
point.
want an orange, they want a kiwi, they want dragon fruit. I'm like, oh, here's a candy. They like, apple. Where's my
Instead
apple?
of buying her chocolate, I buy her blueberries.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
That's
and
the-
she loves
It's the
it.
same. That's exactly what I'm saying. But instead of blueberries, cherry tomato.
Bro.
And your the cherry tomato that we eat in your restaurant is cooked. It's not the same thing. Doesn't have the
No, bro, the one in the
candy
tuna salad
feel.
is not cooked.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
yeah, but some of the cherry
But it has
tomatoes
to
are
be.
really
It has
good.
to be like hand picked, right? To feel like candy, you have to pick it one
Okay,
by one.
bro, we live in a different society.
Right? We'll have to agree to disagree.
We should have
Sorry,
a bet
I
here. We should
interrupted you. Please.
No, I finished with my train of thought.
Yeah, I'm done with my train of thought. I think it's actually a good episode because I think this is one of the few topics spoken about in life amongst ourselves. Because we as the four of us never tend to speak about this. We just live a life the way we do currently, and of course we always promote each other in terms, especially Carlos. You always make us to come together to play sports. And I think that's a great thing amongst friends. It's important
it's
to
true,
have
man.
somebody that can encourage you to do that, whether it...
Get together to do healthy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Healthy
mean, we
activities.
get to get together to do healthy stuff
And then we
also drink and eat.
And then eat.
But
We
just
haven't finished the run. We're 5K in.
Well,
Well, it's like, what we going to eat?
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of 5Ks, we're Oppa and I might enter a race that is 100Ks in Hong Kong. So we'll see if we.
Wish you luck.
It's
We
based
wish
on
you luck.
lottery, so if we'll know in June. If we do, then Wish us luck.
It's probably
I've
gonna
never
be
done it.
I can help with the training, but I'm
I
sorry.
did it
guys.
That's gonna be
100K for me is too much.
a good story for a future episode.
Well, we can follow through the whole episode so we go through the series and how many kilometers we've running, so we can just revisit that as we go.
But
through.
like you guys were saying, it's an important topic because at the end of the day, it's our greatest wealth is our health, right?
I
So-
think also one thing we can touch about on this that we haven't actually, it just clicked to me, is that when you do a race of 100K, it's more mental than physical. Can we agree?
Both.
It is
I think
so
it's
important
both.
to understand.
Just both.
People think it's just physical, but the mental aspect of running 100 kilometers.
I think it's
Wow.
I get to a point that it becomes mental, but health wise you have to be physically able to do that. But it's also mental.
For me, actually, it's more mental than physical. Maybe because I'm a little bit younger, that I don't feel it as exhausted as it is. But thinking when you're at 50K, shit, I have
still have
50K
50
more.
more to go.
What did I do?
Wait
About
there.
that.
Oh yeah.
A good example is that when we did the Dark 45 and Mr. Oppa decided to sprain his ankle at 12K or whatever,
And he ran the rest
still
of it.
finished it with a broken ankle.
Well, I went in with the
that was stupid.
Favor.
That was stupid.
That is much
the
worse.
same race, sick.
You had
I
like
finished the damn thing.
40 Celsius fever.
I have no idea.
He didn't even test, bro.
That's much more dangerous than
You're taking pills
than a
every
broken
hour
ankle.
or so.
I had
I have
COVID.
no
probably.
idea.
that could probably be the stupidest thing you ever
I
did in your
have
life.
to-
I think you will have a heart
And you
attack.
did a lot of stupid shit.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, you
That
did.
is-
Oh my
That was
God.
probably
the
the
cream on the
stupidest.
top, the cherry.
Was there? I remember you guys were saying there was a point during the race where you were like, "Can you please take my sunglasses or something?" Right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
you
yeah.
couldn't even carry your own
Yeah, yeah.
sunglasses.
Yeah, he put the things on me.
I remember
like,
you
Can
guys-
you carry this? Can you carry that? Was it fine?
Like you're just carrying
And then,
yourself
he-
with your.
There was he really wanted to take a taxi back.
If you don't mind me asking,
They couldn't find a taxi.
was that mental or physical?
I think it was mental. At the end of the day, it was
Exactly.
mental.
For me, I don't think that's.
And it's
was
even worse
absolutely
because there was
mental.
grandmas passing me. I'm like, mother was like, oh.
Every like
Hello, like,
15
and I-
seconds. I need a rest. I need a rest.
I cannot
And
imagine.
it was
I'm
all those
glad you
people
were
who I
alive.
passed before, so they're like, "Oh my god!" It was like a
I'm
kilometer,
glad
like
you were alive.
35,
I cannot
36.
imagine the mental pain you are going through, man. Because
No, it was not
every cell in your
I think
body
it was
wants
physical
to rest.
pain that I was going through more than the mental.
Yeah, he was.
Right.
Respect.
But at that point, it's like, dude, I need to finish this, you know. So if we all go to war together, you better hang out with me. I'll pull
I
you
don't know
through.
about that.
I'll pull you through.
I don't think
I'll
so.
drag this guy over too. Broken foot. Don't worry about it. We'll wrap it up.
Right.
Speaking of wrapping it up, I think this is good. Good episode, guys.
It was a good episode. It was a good episode. Thank you for coming. I know that many, like you guys, are super busy, so thank you for coming here.
Thank
Yeah.
you for
Thank
you
letting
for-
us use your casa. We appreciate it. And
We'll see you in the next episode of.
the only rule is
We have to talk about it.
out.
Out.